Guys, welcome back. There was a couple of months we were gone, and sorry about that. It doesn't mean we were not working on the car. We were working on the car, but because of this COVID-19, everything was much slower. We were ordering some parts here in Australia, and some parts from Europe, and some parts from Japan and US, and I can say that Europe and US is fast. Japan and Australia is slow. I don't know why is that, but it is what it is. There are some exciting things that I'm gonna show you at the end of this video. It's standing just here, and there are some things that I wanted to show you what we did to the car. So in the last couple of months, what we did, so as you see, I have made the cold air intake, if you can call it like that, but instead of the high beam, because we are not going to use high beam at the race, I thought I'll just make something more intake or more performance wise. I don't know if that's performance, but we're gonna just test it out. So I basically cut the light off. I made the hole that's going straight in the air filter box. I have installed the performance air filter, which is dry, it's not oiled, beside the hole, and besides the air filter, all the air intake system is totally stock, and I'm gonna keep it like that. While I was working with the air box, Dave was working with the floor, so he made a really nice aluminum floor that's installed at the driver and the passenger side. So we still have a passenger seat, and maybe one day we're going to use it. So far, because of the COVID-19, you can't have passengers in the car, but we did it because we had some spare time. When they finished the floor and we got our parts, so we got camber arms and the camber plates from Individual Racing Parts in Lithuania. So thanks guys, they're awesome, they're top quality, they are good price. I totally recommend those. The install was so easy. It took us maybe, I don't know, it took us maybe half an hour to install the plates and the arms. We did the wheel alignment. We have -2.5 at the rear and in the front. The toe is 0. After we installed that, we checked the compression once again, and we did the leak down test. So compression is good, and the leak down test showed less than 10% leakage in the 5 cylinders, and the cylinder number 4 had up to 15% leakage. For a race car, best is up to 10% leakage. For a street car, like a normal car, up to 20% is normal. If you are doing this test and you're losing up to 20%, it should be fine. I wouldn't be worrying about it and just leave it like that. But if you're losing more, you can find out what's wrong. If the air is going to the oil pan and you open oil filling cap and you can hear air going out, that means it's leaking through the piston group. It can be rings, pistons, rods. If the pressure or if the air is going from the exhaust, that means you have the bad exhaust valves. If it's going to the air manifold and coming out from the air filter, that means you have intake valves bad. If the pressure is going from one cylinder to the other, or your coolant starts bubbling, you have a head gasket problems and you need to replace those. So these are just a simple ways how to test out where it's leaking and what problems do you have with your engines. So how to perform this test, you have to find top dead center of the firing stroke when the piston is at the top and the valves are closed. I'm simple and I don't have all the tools, and I'll be using just a long screwdriver to find the top dead center. The engine has to be at its normal temperature before you start this test. I'm using this long screwdriver to see where's the dead point. Basically what I do, I turn the wheel or I push the car because it's easier for me because I'm alone here, and I put the screwdriver in, I push the car forward and backwards, and the screwdriver is going up and down. So when it's on the up point maximally, it means we have the position we're looking for. So I just measured the first cylinder, it has the leakage of 8%, which is really good. So we're gonna test the 6th one now, because we don't need to push the car. And as you can see, this one has only 5%, which is good. So up to 10% leakage is totally normal, and it seems to be perfect for the race car. Up to 20% is okay for the daily drivers. So because it was just one cylinder that had 10 to 15% leakage, we were not looking for where is it leaking and so on. So if you are preparing your car, it's good to do not just the compression test, because compression test doesn't always show everything. I totally recommend you to do the leak down test as well. And we had a car previously that the compression was totally perfect, but after doing the leak down test, we found that there were a problem with the head gasket. It was leaking and the engine had to be rebuilt and the gasket had to be replaced. That's a good example that compression doesn't always show everything. So after that, after everything was installed and the car was sitting just here, I was thinking that we should improve the towers of the car, because the camber plates are aluminum and they bolt on just straight to the tower. So that's basically aluminum holding in this thin metal towers of the E46, and they are not that heavy duty, they are more like a light duty. So I didn't want that the mushrooming would start. So I contacted ECS Tuning in US and they offered me to get a strut brace and the tower reinforcement plates for the front and the rear. So I got that and I basically ordered those last Monday and they were delivered last Friday. So it took those 4 days to come from US to Australia, and they fit perfectly as well. We got the Racing Dynamics strut brace and original BMW reinforcement plates for the front towers and the ECS Tuning reinforcement plates for the rear. We installed those in, again, half an hour. That was totally easy, bolt on and top quality. So I highly recommend to anyone in Australia to basically check the ECS Tuning website and just order parts from there, because I ordered some parts from Queensland and they are not coming, and I ordered those a month ago. So really don't know what's happening with the shipments here in Australia, but they are totally slow. So after the plates in the arms and the strut brace and all the reinforcements were installed in the car, we double checked the wheel alignment. We still had the same because it doesn't change. The installment was so easy, you didn't need to do anything extra. The car was basically finished. So what was left to do is the inside of the car. So I basically finished all the wirings. They finished plastics, he put everything back together. Oh, one more thing that we did, because we replaced most of the suspension parts and all the rear end of the car from the 330, the rear brake rotors and the pads were not fitting. So I ordered new brake rotors and the pads. We installed those in the car, and basically now we have all the Project U HC Plus brake pads in the car again, and we're gonna test the car with this setting. So as I mentioned before, there are a few exciting things that happened. So number one is that we are going to the track, Ladenham, to test the car. It's gonna be this week. We're gonna see the difference. We're gonna see if the times were improved. I hope it's not gonna be raining. So next week I'm gonna show you how the car managed the Ladenham after all these things we did to the car. So brand new suspension, improved camber, 3 liter instead of 2.5, so more power, better handling hopefully, but same drivers. Before that I have to do one more thing, which is probably the most important. I have a steering wheel right here and I have to install the steering wheel. After the steering wheel is installed, we are done. We are basically ready to go on the track. And the thing number 2 inside it is right here. We have a truck. So that is exciting. I would say our team is getting more and more professional, even though we only did one race with this car and we didn't finish it. But yeah, now the car is finished and we have a truck, and that's exciting. I'm gonna show you about this project more and about the fixing the truck in the next video. So see you at the track and stay tuned.